You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome in, everybody, once again to the Western States Racing League. I'm Mike Damoni, joined in the booth, as usual, by Alan Bergen. Alan, man, how's it going?
It's going great, man. Look, it's cold outside, but it's hot here in Charlotte, and we're getting ready to see some great racing action from the Western States Racing League. And I can't wait. I'm pretty excited. I'm ready to get this underway. 133 laps, and I'm snuggled up and ready to watch some racing.
Yeah, these guys are definitely going to put on a show. 133 laps, as you said. They've got 3 sets of tires lying in the pits. Lap times right now, Bentley Glazer top of the board with a 29:57. So he's going to be on the provisional pole for the moment. Ryan Steele making his way around the track now.
Yeah, I really do like that line that Ryan Steele is running. That classic Charlotte line where you want to pin that truck down along the white line. But in turns 3 and 4, you can typically run the outside a little more.
Like Rob Haynes just completed his second lap, a 29:59. Got a couple minutes left here in qualifying. Chad Simpson goes up to P9 with his second lap of 29.72.
Yeah, Chad Simpson had a very strong run last week. Justin Michael would love to have Kansas back as, well, it did not go well for Justin Michael. Title defense, you know, he really needs to string some nights together and to get a good shot. I know he's going to be wanting to use Kansas as a drop week for sure.
That makes 2 weeks in a row where Justin Michael's race has not come to him, as he goes P2 with a 29.58.
Oh boy.
Got Charlie Widener and Brian Barnes out on track. Going to try and race the clock here to get back to that start-finish line.
Wait, who's on the side of that 95 truck right there? Who's he got sponsoring that truck there?
Mountaineers.
The Mountaineers. I think that's a Pacific Pac-10 truck. Or Pac-10 team. I mean, it only makes sense.
Yeah, Widener goes up to P6, 29.61. Brian Barnes, a 29.77. So almost the entire field that is shown up tonight is under that 30-second mark. So
yeah, and here's one thing about this league is they always run some of these races under the lights, and Charlotte is one of those tracks that they do race under the lights in the evening time. So you thought qualifying was fast? Just wait until we get into racing here in just a few moments.
yeah, Bentley Glazer's going to lead them off here starting on the pole for this 133-lap race. Justin Michaels is going to be just to his outside. Rob Haynes and Michael Melfeld Jr. rolling off in row number 2. Row 3, Chris Simard and Charlie Widener. John Britzman and Justin T. Wilkinson are going to roll off in row number 4. Row 5 is going to be Dennis Fuson and Lyle Swearingen. Row 6, Chad Simpson and Bob Beltrami. Then we got Chad Stearns and Butch Davis in row 7. Row 8, Brian Barnes and Wayne Hutchinson. Ryan Steele and Earl Weaver roll off 17th and 18th. Wayne Fleet and Cody Matthews make up row number 10. Row 11, David Weaver and William Fletcher. Dan Brazington and Todd Miles are going to be in row number 12. Row 13, Julian Ricci and Barry Phil. Dustin Burns is going to roll off in P27, the last driver who took a qualifying lap. Darrell Scott, Scott Kukas, Keith Kelman, and James Campbell are going to start at the tail end of the field as they elected to not put down a qualifying lap and go from the back here tonight.
You know, sometimes that strategy is not a horrible one. I tend to not qualify at the super speedways just because here at Charlotte, there's really no hiding spots like there is at your Talladegas or Daytonas, where you can essentially ride out of the right in the back and just stay out of trouble. But I tell you what, these guys are gonna get ready to get cranked up to crazy here in a few short moments. We got about 2 minutes left before we start to roll off of these trucks.
Yeah, there they go rolling.
It's funny you said that because it's on the back of Bentley Glazer's tailgate. The last time I seen that brand was on a cassette tape for VCR. And kids, if you don't know what the VCR is, well, Google it. Before we get going here, you would have sent a millennial into a frenzy. Give him a rotary telephone and tell him to dial their grandmother.
We'll see what these guys can do once they get cranked up here. imagine that they're going to be a little bit faster towards the start of the run, and then kind of slow down as the tire wear starts to come in. I'm going under 30 seconds. I imagine that's going to be the telltale sign of when they decide that their tires are starting to wear and maybe taking a little bit careful.
I think they're going to get this race done in 3 stops.
Pace truck is in. Bentley Glazer with the button, getting ready to roll through the restart zone, waiting on the flagman here on that initial restart, and we are green flag racing. Bentley Glazer, Justin Michael, away they go into turn number 1.
Bentley Glazer with the early lead in the turn number 1, but he's got that 199 of Rob Haynes right behind him, almost using him as a drafting partner coming off of turn number 1.
Yeah, Haynes was able to clear Justin Michael, and the 3 of them kind of hook up here. Chris Sumard in that 77 machine went from the high side to the bottom side, tried to get in front of Michael Melfeld Jr. to try and work his way towards the front here, but still comes up a little bit short as he is behind Justin Michael now.
Yeah, right now these guys are single filed out all the way back to Charlie Widener, Justin JTW. They're in that double nickel in the McDonald's machine. That's where they start to get doubled up at, and they're still jockeying for position. Now, eventually, when they get ready, they're going to get strung out, and it's going to be single filed out, and these guys are going to be playing hopscotch and leapfrog for position.
Yeah, that is the one of the nice things about about these guys racing trucks is you're able to pass usually if you can get a little bit of a run. It's not like the next gens where you have to kind of figure out and set up your passes as you go along here.
Yeah, Mike, to your point, I'm looking to see if a bunch of guys are, there we go, right there around Lyle Swearingen and Bob Beltrami. Those guys are up there near the wall. Even, the 42 truck of Chad Simpson, he's even up there. Well, the 43 truck, my bad. He's up there near the wall. That's Butch Davis.
Yeah, I would tend to think that they would run a little higher once their tires start to wear a little bit, or maybe they're trying to protect their tires a little bit, just kind of ease around the track.
Well, I can tell you this though. Babs from about 45 minutes north of me in O'Fallon, Missouri, says it is 5 degrees, and she says greetings.
Yeah, Babs always checking in on her drivers. Cheering for that FBR Motorsports team. Max Koss checking in as well. Bentley Glazer coming back, trying to win a championship here in the series after a couple years away, a couple seasons away anyway. Justin Michael took advantage and was able to win the championship last year, but his start to the season is nothing like he had last year. Last year he set off and went, I believe, almost 6 for 6 to start the season. This year, a little bit of adversity is starting early as Chris Sumard goes down to the inside, going to try and make that pass on Justin Michael.
Yeah, just like, Justin Michael, once he gets on a roll, though, you got to remember, 2 seasons ago, back in season 50, he didn't run a whole season. But boy, was he on a tear. And when Justin Michael finally flips that script, look out, guys, because he's going to probably run away with it.
JTW and Dennis Busan battling side by side. Have some guys pedaling towards the back as well. Looks like Ryan Steele, Lyle Swearingen, Butch Davis, Brian Barnes, all together.
I tell you what, Lyle Swearingen has put on a show here these past couple of weeks. He's been there near the front. He's been there at the end, and I kind of like the way he's got that program turned around from last season.
Usually the FBR guys tend to run fairly well, but last season didn't seem to quite go their way.
Whoa!
Oh, Chad Stearns goes up into almost the wall after getting a little loose.
Cody Matthews showed crash on lap number 8. No live timing.
It looks like he crashed and jumped to the pits, so not sure what happened there.
Yeah, and here's that single fouled out, just like I had alluded to earlier on in the show. Butch Davis looking to get around Brian Barnes in that number 4 truck. He's looking to the inside, just can't quite make the pass.
And Chad Stearns getting that 05 machine gathered back in after a little bit of trouble there. Might have had a little bit of help, but nothing too major from the looks of it. Like JTW about caught that outside wall coming down the backstretch.
You know, I would suspect that the line's going to move around a lot. And right now, as we're riding or we're watching Daryl Scott go around the racetrack, he's got the 98 of Barry Phil in front of him. You know, and this league is so competitive. Even a top 10. A top 10 would even be almost like a win, especially if you're one of those guys that are running in the back all the time. Unfortunately, I was one of those back, you know, a field filler, as if you will.
Well, the nice thing is that with these guys, they don't run that fast repair. So if you get damage and you can't get it fixed, you're out of the race. I mean, as long as you avoid any cautions
Calamity.
or anything that comes out in your way, you can get a few spots even if you're just riding around in the back.
Exactly. But meanwhile, back up here, back at the ramp, Bentley Glazer continues to lead this piece. So far, you know, we're 14 laps in, and it's been all Bentley Glazer all day doing Glazer type things. Rob Haynes, you know, given pursuit, and there's the eyeball test. That's what a second looks like.
And Justin Michael's starting to close in. We've seen him do this several times. At the start of the run, he'll kind of back off, maybe save his tires just a little bit the first 5 or 10 laps or so. And then he'll just flip that switch, put the hammer down, and he will start closing.
Yeah, Justin Michael running that low line in the corner, just floating that truck up to the wall. You know, just being on a nice Sunday, you know, Tuesday night drive, and just kind of letting the race come to him, not making any movements, you know, any egregious moves, you know. And I would be so, you know, even Chris Samard, you know, a lot of these guys are very smart racers. They know not to burn their tires up. They got three sets in the pits, plus the ones that are on their truck. So, you know, this is going to be a 3-stop race. It's got to be. The only thing that makes sense.
And Justin Michael catching Rob Haynes there, goes down to the inside, going to make that pass before they come to the start-finish line. Rob Haynes staying right on his rear bumper, not giving him an inch as they set sail off into turn number 1. Chris Dumart sees that happen and starts to close in on Haynes as well.
Now, here's the thing. If you're Justin Michael, okay, you don't want to burn your tires off catching Bentley Glazer. Now, if you're Bentley Glazer, you don't want to burn your tires off trying to set ahead of Justin Michael. So you kind of got to let it happen. If Justin Michaels catches you, play the long game, let him go by. You know, don't give it up easily, make him work for it, but you know, just let him go and you'll catch him, you know, on pit stops or if he has a bad night.
Yeah, you just have to be consistent, especially in this league. Chris Dumart looking to try and stay inside that top tier here. He's running P4. Michael Melfeld Jr. back to 5th. Biggest mover of the race, though, if I'm seeing this correctly, is going to be back in 9th, and that's going to be Ryan Steele. He's been able to move up 8 positions since the drop of the green flag. And he's been running relatively the same line, just kind of letting the race come to him, not really having to fight anybody either. Looks like Dennis Fuson's going to have some company with Chad Simpson down to his inside.
Yeah, that 42 truck looks very, very strong. And it's almost like Lyle Fringe is going to draft off that 13 truck of Dennis Fuson. Dennis switching up the numbers there.
And there goes Dennis Fuson.
Oh, and there's our first caution.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it took 21 laps to get it.
That's exactly what happened here. Oh, just a little touch there from Chad Simpson, and that puts the 13 on its side, comes up right in front of Butch Davis, and that's going to send him around.
Yeah, Dennis Fuson was driving the number 11, but switched up the number, hoping to try to change his luck, and well, things just went bad to worse for Tito's. I don't know if you ever had Tito's vodka, but tequila. Yeah, this
Just a little brush. Just a little bit of a brush is all that took.
I almost want to say that Dennis Fuson came down on Chad Simpson and the 42 truck.
See if we can take a look here. Got time. Let's see if we can take a look here from Fuson's nose cam here. You'll see the white lines.
It's almost like he got a little bit loose.
It looks like he got a little close to that wall there. Might have taken a little bit of air off of it. Kind of made him go down just a little bit, but looked like they both were kind of drifting in and out, so. Oh! David Weaver hard into Dennis Fuson there.
Yeah, Weaver definitely did get a piece of it. Babs checking in, says it's cold in Texas right now too, but spring is coming. She's just sitting there in her recliner cheering on her FBR guys. And then she says, well, crap. You know, Mike, in your part of the country, you don't see spring until at least May, so.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up spring, because I was just at a Little League baseball meeting, and they're trying to figure out when to start the season again, as usual. And they're like, oh, April, we should be able to start, trying to hold practice. So I'm like, it's gonna rain or snow, so no, probably not. Of course, we did have a guy move up here from Florida, asking us in November when we started to do training camps for baseball. I'm like, no, never, not now. Stack back up. Justin Michael, Chris Sumard able to get up into P2. After Chad Simpson, Bentley Glazer all came down pit lane there on lap 21. About 11 drivers not hitting pit lane under that caution.
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't think they're in the fuel window just yet.
pace truck is in. Justin Michael with the button as they get ready to turn him loose once again. Hits that restart zone, and he is down and away. Rob Haynes all over the rear bumper. Chris Samard spun those tires, and he's going to lose 3 positions right on the restart here.
Oh, that's not what you want to do. But here comes Michael Melfelt Jr. on the back bumper in a 155 truck. It's going to be Justin Michael and Rob Haynes all day long.
Yeah, no.
And,
I'll say it looks
well,
like
the 46. Let's say the 46 truck trying to make it 3 wide.
it looked like he started to do that. Michael Melfelt Jr. didn't know where he was going to go as he couldn't get in front of JTW there, but able to just barely clear off. And back they go. Got Charlie Widener up here running inside the top 3. Chris Dumard getting that 77 Chevy back underway here in the 4th position, but Justin Michael's starting to drive away. He's got almost a half second here on Rob Haynes.
Justin Michael doing Justin Michael things. That's what Justin Michael That's what Justin Michael wants to see, is clear racetrack ahead of him. And I mean, this might be the win that he's going to need here tonight. You know, even if you just get out there and lead some laps, it can still be a confidence booster.
Yeah, don't look now though. Bentley Glazer making pretty quick work of the top 10 that didn't come down pit lane, as he is already up into P5 looking for more on that high side. Going to push it on. I was going to say going to push it 3 wide. He elected not to. Stayed behind Charlie Widener. Still trying to find a way by Chris Sumard. Charlie Widener.
Here he goes.
He is going
Here
3 wide. 3 wide on the high side, and he is going to try and clear off. He will do just that. Gets that 2 for 1 and is running P3 now.
I love the old 2 for 1 specials. So here comes Lyle Swearingen. He's going to try to take the high line. He said, if you could do it, I could do it better.
Swearingen trying to close in here. It's basically a hornet's nest back here, as you have 5 trucks within less than a quarter of a second, 3 wide. Chad Stearns down on the bottom side. Chris Samard in the middle. Charlie Widener up on the high side.
Oh my goodness. Chad Stearns with a 2 for 1 special.
And this is one of the only leagues that I can say I'm fairly confident can go 3 wide almost all the way around this track and not have any real issues.
I mean,
And
they're just doing it.
Don't look now, but Bentley Glazer has the lead again.
That's okay. That's okay. Justin Michael got out front. He led some laps. Now he's going to fall back and strategize. If Justin Michael can't beat him on the racetrack, Justin Michael could certainly try to beat him off pit road.
Well, Bentley Glazer has 21 lap fresher tires than Justin Michael. So if Justin Michael's playing this as he thinks it's going to be a long green flag run and that caution was just something out of the ordinary, he's going to be able to come down pit lane when he wants, try and split this race into basically thirds, make it a 2-stop race, and hopefully have enough there for the end of the race and maybe be on the fresher set of tires if they do happen to get a late race caution.
I mean, I would tend to go that way. I mean, I don't disagree with you with that one bit. As right now, the top 5's getting single filed out. But here, there's Chris Samard. And, you know, right around that 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, even back to 11th, they're 2 by 2 doing it John Force style.
Looks like 46 got a little loose there. On Breetzman. Like he got a little loose. Going to slow down that outside line just a touch here, but Chris Sumard, Charlie Widener still side by side. Lyle Swearingen not leaving the rear bumper here of that 77 machine, trying to get that Strickland Propane 77 rolling.
He sells propane and propane accessories. You mentioned propane. Oh boy, I missed that show. And right now, Chris Martin at number 77 to double natural out in front of this hornet's nest. You got to start to wonder. These guys are going to eventually swallow him up. He's going to eventually burn up the tires. Trying to get away from these guys.
Yeah, he's probably feeling pretty good right now as he's moved away. But they're still 2x2 behind him. If they ever, single file out just a little bit, maybe get it a little bit further apart, they might be able to get a run moving here. Lyle Swearingen trying to get clear, just can't quite do it here. But getting clear is something that Bentley Glazer has done and done tremendously, as he has got a 4-second lead over Chad Stearns, who was able to get by Justin Michael. Justin Michael currently running P3. Rob Haynes about a second and a half back. And then the battle there with Chris Simard and the drivers behind him.
Bentley Glazer is halfway back to Charlotte downtown right now. This, the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the dirt track, the drag strip, it's nestled just outside of Charlotte in Concord, North Carolina. One of the few tracks on the circuit that has a lot of prestige. The World 600, Coke 600s. Now you got trucks racing here. The Xfinity Series A race here. And then to take it a step further, you build a drag strip. And that, Charlotte Speedway, the ground holds the 4 wide nationals. And then the dirt track, the Charlotte dirt track, is the home of the World of Outlaw World Finals. So a lot of history here. And I think this is one of those important races, almost like the Daytona 500.
Well, you said they were going to swallow him up, and they did just that as that outside line got moving. Wayne Hutchinson getting out here. They've caught Rob Haynes. Brian Barnes goes by. Looks like Bob Beltrami's going to look to the inside, and he's going to be able to go by. All these drivers here came down and pitted on lap 21. The only driver that's not losing a ton of positions is going to be that 87 Toyota, and that's going to be Justin Michael.
Oh, absolutely. And, to your point, Justin Michael is really, really good at things tires. I mean, we've seen it all season last year when he went on that championship run. The title event's not going the way he thought it would, but really a couple rounds into a long season.
Yeah, plenty of time. You have 3 drop weeks, so. He's going to lose a position here to Wayne Hutchinson. Probably a couple others here as well, as Brian Barnes goes to the high side. Bob Beltrami as well. Wayne Fleet, a guy we used to not seeing run inside this top 10, is running up 12 spots. Daryl Scott as well, up 20 in that number 20 Chevy, giving him a little shout out here as he's got that truck going in the right direction for now.
Right now, that number 6 truck of Wayne Fleet, it's hard to beat.
Bentley Glazer running out here.
He's gone. He's almost 5. Look, he's almost 5.5 seconds. And he goes, if Bentley Glazer had it his way, by the end of the season, we're going to be like, Justin who?
Well, if I'm hearing things correctly, it sounds like we're getting close to that pit window for Justin Michael. Looks like Rob Haynes already came down, Dan Brasington as well.
Oh, we're seeing it.
Yeah.
Pristine.
So it looks like they're starting to head down pit lane of the drivers who did not come down the last time, which if this is as far as they can run, 43 laps or thereabouts, it's going to be a 3-stop race because they won't quite have enough to make it. The only drivers that are on a little bit different strategy here are the drivers that came down on lap 21.
So that means my strategy would have worked.
So it looks like all the drivers that didn't pit on that lap 21 caution are going to come down now. Only driver that hasn't so far is Lyle Swearinger.
Here goes Lyle Swearinger making his way down pit road.
Yeah, so
And I was going to say, now Bentley Glazer is going to encounter lap traffic.
oh yeah, lap traffic and drivers that did come down pit lane that time. So. And I think that first caution might still make it where Bentley Glazer is going to have to come down pit lane. The 04 there is all over the track. Dustin Burns looks like he saw Bentley Glazer coming and didn't know which way he wanted to go for the moment.
Oh,
Chad-
boy.
Chad Stern's trying to close in.
Yeah, Chad Stern, he's been on a tear lately, but right now though the story is, and here's my opinion. Here's the story. Bentley Glazers has that number 11 on rails.
Yeah, he is definitely driving away from the field at the moment. But with that and everybody single filed out, we're gonna go ahead and step aside, go side by side. You won't miss anything as we take a little commercial break, and we'll be back after this. and we are back. And while we were away, you did see that caution flag come out here on lap 53. Looks like the top drivers are all coming in. Bentley Glazer, Chad Stearns, Brian Barnes, Bob Beltrami. Let's see if we can take a look one more time here. Another rough race here for Justin Michael as he got involved there. Coming out of the pits on fresh tires, went to go by the number 6 there. Just couldn't, 6 slid up and went across the track. Right in front of Justin Michael, nowhere really he could do.
Yeah, it's another week of bad luck for Justin Michael, but not to mention they get 3 drop weeks here at the Western States Racing League, so not totally a bad thing maybe if you can put together a good rest of the season.
Yeah, it looks like he's called it a night. Rob Haynes has called it a night. Butch Davis has called it a night. Looks like Chris Amard has wound up getting caught some laps down. So if what I'm looking at is correct here, it looks like right now we have 9 cars on the lead lap.
Oh boy. 9 cars on the lead lap. We're only 55 laps into this thing too.
Yeah.
Well, there's a name in the top 3 you don't see very often, and that's the Beltrami Salami Machine, the number 14 of Bob Beltrami. He finds himself during the top 3.
I definitely feel that, Justin. They are stacked up. Bentley Glazer on the high side, Chad Stearns on the bottom as they get ready to head through that Geico restart zone. They're down and away. About even as they come through the start-finish line.
I mean, look at that start that Chad Stearns got. I mean, just trying to keep Bentley Glazer at bay.
Yeah, we've seen Bentley Glazer kind of fall back just a little bit, and then he gets his tires warmed up, and he's right back on it. I imagine that's probably what's going to happen here again. Chad Stearns has been lightning quick, though, on those restarts. Been able to get by several trucks pretty quickly here. He's down to the inside. Bentley Glazer goes to the high side. See if Glazer can get a run or if Chad is going to stay in the lead. It looks like right now they're side by side coming down the backstretch.
Side by side, inside, outside. Getting it done here under the lights at Charlotte. Chad Stearns fighting for everything. He's got to keep the lead, but he's going to... Oh, just Bentley Glazer is just so much more better.
Yeah, just had that momentum coming off the high side. Chad Stearns didn't have anything on the bottom. Glazer's going to get in front, and he's going to begin to drive away. He's already out to a quarter of a second. Chad Stearns trying to hang on here. Brian Barnes trying to get that number 4 machine up on the podium. Haven't heard from him in a while, as is the case here with Bob Beltrami as well. William Fletcher, Wayne Hutchinson, Dustin Burns, Keith Kellman are the drivers on the lead lap.
Mike, if you could just see me right now, you'd be like, really? I got I'm all snuggled up with my Cardinals blanket.
one of these days I'm going to have to make it out that direction to go see one of my friends play some minor league ball. But
meanwhile, back at the ranch, here comes Bob Beltrami making the most of that top 5 run, especially on fresher tires. We're working lap 60 of 133 to be ran here from Charlotte, North Carolina. And, you know, Bob, the owner of the Western States Racing League, puts these on as free events. He's done it for 50 seasons now. And I'm sure, if my math is right, over half of those 50 seasons have been right here on Sim Racing Media.
quite a few of them we've been broadcasting for quite a long time. Great to have the partnership of the Western States Racing League. They are one of the longest running leagues in existence. They have 2 seasons, spring and fall. And this one here is actually season number 52. So they are, over 25 years of doing this.
Yeah, I believe they got started back in NASCAR Heat, and then, the pandemic hit, and then they made the switch over to iRacing.
Well, Chad Simpson and Ryan Steele are the drivers battling here for the Lucky Dog spot. Lucky Dog.
Oh,
wow. But,
rewind.
But they've got, they're still close enough. They could get their lap back by themselves. Ryan Steele is on about 10 lap older tires, though.
Bentley Glazer not out to that 5-second lead he had at last run, but still out to a good, maybe 10th.
Yeah, he didn't have that run that he had before, but he also had a ton of cars between himself and Chad Stearns there, as Dustin Burns elects to come down and bring it right back down pit lane. So he was the driver who stayed on track to stay on that lead lap, but he is down pit lane now, so we are left with 7 on the lead lap at the moment here, 65 laps into a 133 lap race.
Right now your top 5 are top 6, well, they're all single filed out. So they're all playing the long game right now. And as we continue to watch that number 11 machine just totally obliterate the field. I wouldn't even say obliterate the field right now. He is certainly hard to get around, and it looks like Justin Michael back out on the racetrack, maybe?
No, it's the 07 of...
Oh, okay, Keith Kelman.
Yeah, Keith, yeah.
The Nestle chocolate milk machine got Nestle up. But don't forget, tomorrow we got a lot of great programming on Sim Racing Media for the rest of the week. Don't forget that tomorrow to check out Angel Santiago and Troy Thomas on the Racers Elite Xfinity Series. All that action might kicks off at 7:30 Eastern, and then Sunday night. If you haven't checked this out, Mike, I highly encourage it. But go check out that Goat Locker Truck Series with Dave Regal and George Brackell on Sunday night. That is a show. They just put on an epic battle at Daytona. And I tell you what, I had a lot of fun watching that the other day.
Yeah, definitely something to check out on Sunday nights. Let's see if we can find some battles here on track for position back here in the tail end of the field. Lyle Swearingen, Justin T. Wilkinson battling back here for 11th, just outside that top 10. Ryan Steele currently in 10th.
Look at Lyle's Ranger going to the inside of Ryan's Steel. As you alerted to, that is that's a battle for 10th that's brewing right there. JTW trying to bounce back from last week's misfortune.
Chad Simpson is in the lucky dog position, running 5th on track, but 8th on the scoring monitor.
Keith Tillman running 7th right now. He's the biggest, well, in my opinion, the biggest mover of the race. He's up 23 spots.
Yeah, definitely don't see that 07 machine up here very often, but he is holding his own here. Cautions fell right, and he is making the most of it at the moment here.
I mean, so can we have like a first-time winner then? Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're saying? I mean, it might be too early to call, but I'm just saying. Meanwhile, Bob Beltrami is still running in that 4th position in the number 14 Beltrami salami machine. And the action's just getting hotter and hotter. Just getting started here as the sun's going down over the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Just doing some looking here.
As our resident statistician continues to look up if he's coming and won a race or not. Oh, Chad Simpson trying to get that FBR Motorsports number 42 back on the lead lap.
He was trying to.
Just want to remind everybody out there in YouTube land, if you have the gift or gabber, just like hearing the sound of your own voice, contact us here on Sim Racing Media and we'll get you a meeting set up and talk to you and see if broadcasting is right for you.
Well, he has not. Keith Kelman has not had a top 5 finish. He's finished inside the top 10 times in his career here in the Western States Racing League of 164 starts. But you want to hear a crazy stat? Bob Beltrami and Brian Barnes have over 560 starts here in the Western States Racing League.
Now that is some dedication. And right now, well, Keith Tillman and William Fletcher, they got to run because they're about to get the leaders coming up on you. He's not our fight.
Yeah, that's not something that Chad Simpson really wants to see, other than the fact that he's not too far behind the leaders.
No. Working lap number 78, here we go. Now, when you're Bentley Glazer, what do you do when you get to them? Do you go inside, hope they go low, or do you say Bentley Glazer's on the radio saying, "Hey, we're coming, go high"?
Hopefully they're maintaining their line and Bentley can decide which way he wants to go.
Well, we're getting ready to find out.
He goes low, they go high. high. And Chad Simpson goes by. But that's not really the truck that Chad Simpson's worried about. He's worried about the truck just in front of Bentley Glazer now, and that's Keith Kelman.
Yeah, that truck gets for position.
Probably going to see pit stops in about 10 to 15 laps, I'd imagine.
I mean, here comes the pass to put Keith Kelman a lap down. Keith Kelman going to get out of the way of Bentley Glazer and Chad Stearns. Brian Barnes just a little bit further behind.
Chad Simpson able to get by, maintain that lucky dog spot for the moment.
I was going to say, I don't think Keith Kelman's going to put up too much of a fight there. And right now, we're watching that green flag run. This is what this league is known for. These long green flag runs, getting single filed out, you know, making moves happen when it counts. Don't do nothing egregious.
Looking to see 83 laps in, so they got to make it probably 10 or so more laps in order to make it to the end. So Keith Kelman coming in pit lane, so he's going to go towards the back of the field here.
Yeah, here comes Chad Stearns. Chad Stearns is matching Bentley Glazer step for step.
Bentley Glazer has won here before. He won in the fall of 2021. Brian Barnes has also won here before in the fall of 22. The last two winners, though, both were Justin Michael, and he is not going to do that today.
Unfortunately not. But Chad Stearns, he could possibly get by Bentley Glazer in that number 05 truck, though.
Like I said, now I'm hearing pit calls coming out on the radio. Several drivers going to make their way on down pit lane.
So if you're Bentley Glazer, when you go down pit road,
Oh, when I'm out of fuel. I mean, you have almost the whole field a lap down, so I think you kind of stay out as long as you can.
You go on the Maxwell House strategy. Down to the last drop.
Because right now, it's going to be tight, I believe, for the drivers who just came down pit lane to make it to the end of the race. If they can only go 45 laps or thereabouts.
I mean, geez, I mean, look, Chad Stearns and Bentley Glazer, they are the show right now. It's a 2-horse race, and they are the show.
Yeah, Chad Simpson's thinking to himself, why did I have to get caught a lap down, as he is running 3rd on the track, but 7th now on the board.
Right now, Chad Simpson is still in that lucky dog. There we go. Chad Stearns looking to the inside of Bentley Glazer. Does he try to complete the pass? Yes, he does. Beautiful textbook slide job. And Bentley Glazer going to fight back on the outside. Oh boy, they almost got together.
Yeah, Chad Stearns getting by just a little bit. Bentley Glazer all over that rear bumper, not going to give him an inch here.
An inch, and now you get into a centimeter. I would suspect that Bentley Glazer is probably going to come down pit road here before too long.
It looks like Julian Ricci is going to go to the inside and try and get one of his laps back. Multiple laps down, though, but did just pit on lap 80, so.
Then you got to start to wonder, did Bentley Glazer start to use up more of his tires that run?
Yeah, he might have been pushing it a little bit just to see what it would do. I mean, you're getting to that 40 lap to go range, so I mean, see what you have, see how many laps you can push it hard to, and drive to about then. I mean, I'm sure he realizes where he was and kind of what he could do with the tires that he had, so.
I mean, Chad Stearns and Bentley Glazer just adios themselves away from the field. Right now we got Barry Phil and Scott Kukas in the road. Here they go. The leaders are coming in.
Here they go. Bentley Glazer.
Oh, they both bobbled.
Flying in. Glazer down to the inside, going to try and pass him on pit lane, and he will do that. We'll see if he was caught speeding, though, because he was hard on the brakes. Qualified on the pole, so he has pit stall number 1, so he will be able to get that done and get out as quick as possible. Brian Barnes took over the lead. Bob Eltrami in second. Wayne Hutchinson in third. Chad Simpson coming down too.
All Glazer has to do is pop the clutch and get rolling.
And he did just that. Ooh, he is close to that blue line.
Didn't go over it though.
And the race is on now. Money stop made.
Oh, we're good to go. Glazer, Stearns, battling it out. They're going to drive these trucks like a hacked off teenager now.
Going to be all a matter of when they catch the lap traffic and who's able to get by better. Glazer Stearns goes down to the inside, going to slide on right by here.
I mean, just 8 drivers on the lead lap right now. The FBR Motorsports contingent not having the greatest of nights.
No, Chad Simpson is still in that lucky dog spot, but he's a little bit closer to the drivers behind him than in front of him.
I was going to say the Sandy Hourglass are starting to run out for Chad Simpson in that 42 truck. We're working on 99. Whoa!
Blazer.
Oh no! Oh no! That's gonna bring out caution. Oh,
Keith Kelman. No brakes on the 07 machine.
Oh, what a... Wow. There's gonna be some 5-letter adjectives today.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Bentley Glazer's more matter than a keyboard else getting demoted to Hutchbacker. Here we are.
I'll say Barry Phil.
I don't think Glazer knew he was there.
Looked like he thought he was clear. Barry Phil almost knocks him back straight.
Overcorrected it second time.
Chad Stearns into the wall. I mean, he'd still probably be okay.
That's the second hit that got me. Keith's coming right
I mean, he stopped on the track.
now.
And he starts to get rolling again, and he sees the cars coming, so he just kind of stays where he's at. And...
Ow! That's the one that ended his night.
Yep. Just because.
You just hate it. Can we go on board with Keith Kalman? Maybe. Okay, here we are. Come to the trial wall. You hear is all gas, all gas, all gas. And oh, he didn't even let out.
Not a lot. No, he did not.
Well, that'll send Bentley Glazer to the hauler.
Looks like he's still on pit lane. We'll see if he's going to be able to get that thing fixed. I mean, it looks like the spotter probably called him clear. He slid up, barely touched the nose there of Barry Phil, and then was just trying to correct the truck, and then got a little help there from Barry Phil again, and wound up overcorrecting and going into that wall. And even then, it looked like everything would be okay as he was stopped on the track. Everybody was able to go around him. A couple drivers hit the outside wall getting by, but all in all, I think everybody was in good shape there until the end.
No, they weren't. Working lap 102 of 133. We got just over 31 laps to go. 33 laps to go, rather.
So the biggest beneficiary is going to be the 42 Toyota.
Look, if I'm Chad Simpson, I'm sending Bentley Glazer, Keith Kalman both Christmas cards next year.
I mean, he is back in the field a little ways because he was the lucky dog. He did come down pit lane, so he's back there a little ways. But he came down on lap 100, so he has 6 lap fresher tires than Chad Stearns.
Well, as the iRacing.com pace car lights are out, we're getting ready to come back to Green Flag Racing. Here to settle this one out. iRacing.com pace car makes that hard left turn. Chad Stearns, Brian Barnes on the front row. Down to the Geico restart zone. 3, 2, 1. We're back to Green Flag Racing. Chad Stearns with the whole shot.
Yeah, Chad Stearns got rolling really well. He's had it all night, just hasn't been up towards the front a whole lot on those restarts. Bob Beltrami, Brian Barnes side by side.
Could you imagine if Bob Beltrami could pull this one off? And Bentley Glazer trying to make some things happen. I think that one's going to be on Bentley Glazer. Nope, Michael Melfield Jr. it says.
Oh, look at Bentley Glazer grab walk. He did not get enough time to fix that machine.
I think he's hoping for a series of cautions. I mean, you got 3 drops. Just put it on the hauler and call it a night. He's the only guy I ever seen dirt tracking it on a asphalt track, though.
I don't see anything there. Let's see what happened to Michael Melfield Jr. maybe. Oh, whoa. Three wide in the middle. Oh, just got a little loose there. Got turned.
No fault of anybody's.
That didn't seem to be, as just kind of not where you want to be. It looked like Bentley Glazer was just kind of riding around trying to get a couple laps in.
While we're under this caution, Mike, I'm going to throw out a PSA. If you are in a cold climate that's under 32 degrees or in single digits like we are here in St. Louis, let those faucets drip, because if not, you're going to wake up to one hell of a mess in the morning.
Oh, oops, I forgot. No,
Hey, look.
I got heat tape on mine, dude. It gets way too cold in the winter for that.
I mean, I've been there. I've done that. I bought the t-shirt. Lived in, I grew up, lived in a mobile home. Did that situation. Look at the frozen pipes many a times. I even let my faucet strip, even though I live in a house where I got a basement. It still gets cold.
Oh, yeah.
Even in the Tony Trapasso Memorial booth, it gets chilly. Right now, your leader, though, Chad Stearns, up 12 spots. The Beltrami Salami, number 14, making it happen right in that second spot. As we got a little over, what, 30 laps to go?
A little
Maybe?
under. Little under.
Little
Under.
little under.
We got
Little
9.
under.
We got 9 trucks on the lead lap, though. One by one, they come back.
It's like the vacuum effect.
And I believe this is going to be a single file restart, as we didn't complete one lap under green. So Chad Stearns is going to have the whole field under his control here. He's going down
We
to
had-
the bottom. Everybody's staying on the high side, so we'll see if he gets up in front of Bob Beltrami or if he's going to let that high side roll.
We got 27 laps to go right now.
Chad Stearns with the button, hits that restart zone, and he is down and away. Green flag racing here. It looks like Ryan Steele might have spun the tires a little bit back there in fourth as Wayne Hutchinson was trying to close in as well. Bob Beltrami's under pressure of Brian Barnes.
Here we go. Bob Beltrami, the Sands at Hourglass are starting to run out for that 14 machine. Any chance that he's got to maybe catch Chad Stearns and make a race out of it. But here he comes. Just as they said, hey, he's gonna make me look like a fool. Way to make a liar out of me.
Well, they do it every week, so it's all right. Every time we say pit strategy or anything else.
I know.
Brian Barnes goes clear up to the high side, going to try and get a run. Ryan Steele sticking his nose down low. 3, almost 4 wide, coming through 3 and 4. And Steele goes from 5th to 2nd in a hurry.
That's that new tires. Here comes JTW. He's looking to make him. Ooh! Beltrami shuts the door on JTW in a double nickel.
Yeah, Wayne Hutchinson went up, got into that outside wall. Chad Simpson trying to get by, and he will do just that. Has William Fletcher in front of him now, but that gap to the drivers in that top 5 is growing, and Chad Simpson's trying to get around here and make a race of it as he goes down to the inside, going to get by William Fletcher.
I mean, is there a virtual full moon in Charlotte tonight? Because here comes Ryan Steele to the inside of Chad Stearns. He's going to get the lead. Bob Beltrami says, I'm going to go with you, buddy.
Now Ryan Steele just threw down the gauntlet, 29.84, fastest lap of the race.
Ryan Steele just continues to get faster and faster as we are coming up on 20 to go here. Just a few short moments.
Ryan side by side. I mean, Bob Beltrami can't really mind the 2 leaders going side by side here. Kind of let them burn up their stuff. Maybe Beltrami can save something for a little bit later in this run, see if he's going to be able to have something to get by these 2.
Here comes JTW. He's looking underneath that 14 machine. The double nickel trying to make something happen here. Chad Stearns not giving up so easily there in the top spot. He says, I don't think so.
Yeah, swapped inside to outside. Ryan Steele now goes to the high side. Chad Stearns down on the bottom. Chad Simpson slowly reeling in Brian Barnes back there in 5th position.
Ryan Steele starting to check out. Does Beltrami have anything left in the tank?
Yeah, Ryan Steele bided his time, worked his strategy here to perfection as he is out in front with about 6 lap fresher tires than Chad Stearns. Beltrami on about the same strategy as Stearns. JTW has some fresher tires, but just can't quite get by Bob Beltrami.
Beltrami just laying in the little, like, just being like a lion, just waiting to pounce. But if he's going to pounce, he's got to do it very quickly.
These top four are kind of drawn away here from Brian Barnes. The gap is about a half second from JTW to Barnes there. Barnes is going to have a rearview mirror full of Chad Simpson if Chad can get that 42 Toyota rolling here.
I think he can. I think he can. I think he can. Come on, Bob. You got this, buddy. He's going to look high.
I would say it's been a while since we've had Bob joining us up here after racing the broadcast booth, but
don't jinx him.
Looks like he's trying to make it happen here.
Don't jinx him. Don't out of turn number 2, lap 117 in the books. Or we're working lap 117, 116 laps in the history books. He is right there at Chad Simpson's or Chad Stearns' door. He's got to do something fairly quickly, though, to make that move.
And now the two drivers behind him have kind of hooked up, Brian Barnes and Chad Simpson. They're closing in just a little bit. The gap's slowly getting closer to manageable here. JTW looked to the inside, got a little loose there behind the 14 of Bob Beltrami. Sticks his nose down to the inside one more time. Beltrami defends and is going to stay in P3. Side by side they are back in 5th. Chad Simpson, Brian Barnes, Chad Simpson able to get by, going to start to try and close in on the top 4 here. JTW goes to the inside, going to drive it in and hope it sticks, and he will slide up right in front of Bob Beltrami. Beltrami trying to close in and make the pass, cross and back over as they head to the start-finish line.
Here comes Beltrami side by side with JTW. These guys are going to battle it out. This is not what Beltrami needs right now. Beltrami needs to be ahead of that double nickel and in the single file line, because right now that's allowing 1, Chad Simpson to move up, and 2, Stearns and Steele to move away.
Yeah, Steele is starting to drive away. 13 laps to go here as they come to the line. Chad Simpson able to get by Beltrami.
I mean, what a recovery run this has been for Chad Simpson and the FBR Motorsports contingency.
Yeah, Lyle Swearingen was able to get a lap back under that last caution. He's running P9 right now. Dan Brazington in P10. Chris Sumard back there in 13th. Only driver that looks like he had a bad day is going to be Butch Davis there, finishing 21 laps and then throwing it on the hauler.
He definitely had his fun meter pegged out. Brian Steele up 16 spots. He continues to lead this thing.
Going to be coming to 10 to go here as they come down the backstretch. And Ryan Steele is starting to gap the field. He's got over a half-second lead. It doesn't look like any of the drivers are able to make up any ground so far on this number 12 Chevy here.
No, I was just going to say that. Looks like Chad Stearns has just not been able to catch Ryan Steele in that 12 truck. But here comes the double nickel of JTW. He's looking for another podium.
And Chad Simpson says not so fast in that 42 Toyota. Down to the inside, going to be able to pass JTW and try and get rolling on to P2. The only driver on older tires is Chad Stearns. He pitted on lap 94. The other drivers around him all pitted on lap 100.
I would love to see these guys' tire strategy right now. Right now, it's the Ryan Steele show. Chad Simpson still currently holding down that third and final podium spot, though, with 8 laps to go. Make that 7 laps to go.
Yeah, 7 to go. Ryan Steele out to half-second lead. The battle for second is slowly starting to heat up. It was a half-second, and now it is down to 3/10. Slowly, that 42 is reeling in the 05. 6 to go. But looking at the relative, it doesn't look like Simpson is going to be able to close on Ryan Steele. Ryan Steele and Chad Simpson have been running identical lap times the last couple laps, so might be able to get up into second, but getting to the win is going to be a little harder.
Ryan Steele crossing the line, 5 to go. 5 flanges in the air for Ryan Steele in that number 12 truck.
The only thing that's going to help Chad Stearns and Chad Simpson is going to be the lap traffic here that Ryan Steele's starting to come on to.
Yeah, that's going to be the only thing that helps him out right now.
Ryan Steele goes to the inside, going to try and get by the lap traffic. Looks like Dan Brazington there. He will do just that. Ryan Steele set sail, 3 to go. Chad Stearns, Chad Simpson going to battle it out. Stearns going to use Brazington almost as a pick. Chad Simpson's going to try and drive down to the inside, get a little bit of a run on that 05. Can't quite get there, staying right on that rear bumper. 2 laps to go as Ryan Steele crosses the line.
Two laps to go. Time is run out for Chad Stearns. Ryan Steele running away. Here comes Chad Simpson. He was a lap down a little bit earlier on in this race, and there he is fighting for that second position as we're coming to the white flag.
Now Chad Simpson closing in on Stearns, going to try and get to P2 inside of the 05, forces the 05 to go up the track. But side by side they go. Ryan Steele's going to drive away from this battle here for second as he's out to 0.7 of a second lead. But Stearns and Simpson are going to put on a show here for P2. Stearns with the run on the high side. Simpson going to try and battle back on the bottom. Coming out of 4.
And
Stearns gets second over Chad Simpson. Ryan Steele, of course, walks away with the victory.
what a race that this was here tonight. How about Brian? How about Bob Beltrami though, picking up the top 5? Ryan Steele, the 39-year-old out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
still getting a first-time victory this season. Gonna burn it down here. Logo.
I love the Polish victory lap.
All right, let's see if we can these drivers get up here in the booth and see what they had to say about the race here at Charlotte tonight. All right, I will let you talk to Chad Simpson here, Alan.
Chad, parked at third. Take us through that race where you ended up a lap down at one point, and then you battled back all the way to third, and then you were battling Chad Stearns for the second spot on the podium.
Yeah, I have no clue what happened, to be honest. I made a pit stop on the lead lap with the leaders and then ended up a lap down. So I don't really get it. It kind of put me in an advantage spot. I stopped early on in that race with the first yellow Fuson. I don't know. I'm sorry to Fuson. I'm not really sure what happened, if I got into him or he got into me, or if we net coded together. But sorry to him. I stopped there and took fuel only, which put me at a tire advantage over the rest of the field. Well, not the rest of the field, but a lot of those guys. And there was a long time where whatever happened that put me a lap down, I was in the lucky dog spot. And if we got a yellow, I was going to be able to stop, put on new tires, and have a tire advantage while being on the lead lap over everybody else. And it happened with 35-ish to go, whatever that was. But the tire advantage, it was only about 4 laps. So by the time we got to the end, I'm racing Stearns. It was pretty minimal. I was able to catch him. I was able to get side by side. I wasn't able to pass him.
Most definitely. And, so here we are, before we get you out of here, is there anybody you'd like to thank to help get you here tonight?
Yeah, I'd thank Seraph Secure, seraphsecure.com, anti-scam software, very good stuff from Kit Bogo's team. The FPR Simrig Accessories Creation Studio, Ellis Engineering, Sim Motion, FDT, FR, Satellite Racing, FPR, Bob hosting it, you guys on the broadcast, the fan club. 2 weeks in a row, I get to do an interview and talk to you. That's cool. So thanks, everybody.
All right. You have a good night, Chad, and we'll see you in the next one.
All right, see you.
Don't see second place here, so I guess I'll grab Ryan and talk to him for a moment. Hey, Ryan, man. Mike up in the booth. How's it going?
Doing great.
Well, usually it's a tire strategy or something to that effect that usually winds up getting you up here in the booth because you are electric at saving those tires. But tonight it just seemed like the cautions kind of fell your way.
I mean, the last one did. I spent most of the race paying for the mistake of not bidding when everyone else did, and that worked out mostly for them. It was just that the last caution, which unfortunately I think it was Bentley Glazer got wrecked. I'm not really quite sure what happened because I haven't watched the replay yet. But I was about to get lapped again, and then the wreck happened behind me, and all of a sudden I'm the last car in lead lap, and I still have tires to put on. So, and the rule goes at Charlotte, the last guy put on the last set of tires wins the race.
Definitely seemed that way as you were one of the faster drivers on track. you did have a battle for second kind of behind you. What were your thoughts when you saw those two battling it out behind you?
The whole last run, my strategy was to try to get to the front, not as quickly as possible, but as reasonably as possible. Like I wanted to make safe moves. I didn't want to wear out the tires trying to pass people. I wound up doing it anyway a little bit, trying to get past the 05 again. But once I got to the front, it was tire management, because I had been kind of bad at trying to go as fast as I could to try to make up my lap on previous runs, and I'd actually suffer compared to other guys on that same tire strategy. So that last run, I was trying to manage a distance of about a half a second between me and second, so that they stayed in dirty air. And I was in particular watching the other guys who were also on new tires to see if they were going to catch up to me or not. And that worked out great because I had the fastest car at the end, so I'll take that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, congrats on your race win. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
I got to thank my Dog Bear team for helping prepare for the race, and I got to thank you guys for covering the series my friends can watch. Thank you.
Definitely. Well, congrats once again, and we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, sure hope so. Thank you.
Well, that will do it. Looks like we don't have second place up here ready to go, so we'll go ahead and go through the race results. Race number 3 here from Charlotte. We got Ryan Steele, Chad Stearns, Chad Simpson battling it out there for the podium spots. Justin T. Wilkinson, Bob Beltrami with the top 5. And then we've got Brian Barnes, Wayne Hutchinson, William Fletcher, Lyle Swearingen, and Dan Brazington round out the top 10. Scott Kukas, Julian Ricci, Chris Sumard, John Breetzman, Dustin Burns, Barry Phil, James Campbell, and Todd Miles are the top 18. Daryl Scott, Earl Weaver, Bentley Glazer with a hard luck 21st. Michael Belfelt Jr. also back there in the hard luck spot. Keith Kellman, Dennis Fuson, Charlie Widener, Wayne Fleet, Justin Michael, Rob Haynes. Then we go to Butch Davis, David Weaver, and Cody Matthews rounds out the field here. So that is going to put race 3 in the books. We'll load them up and head off to short track racing at Bristol next week. Probably going to have Liam on the call. I believe with Alan going to join him from Bristol.
Sounds good. I am ready to go.
With that, anything else you want to add before we get out of here, Alan?
Look, 200 laps at Bristol is going to be an absolute blast next week. And the fact that I'm going to get to sit in the booth with Liam, I love you, Mike, but I mean, 2 guys from the very cold Midwest hanging out, man, what better fun would it be than at Bristol Motor Speedway for 200 laps?
Definitely, man. So with that being said, from all the drivers of the Western States Racing and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night, and we will see you next time.